Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your famous author, Mark Wrobel, coming to you live with another discussion. Today is a 9/11 anniversary here in America of September 11th. But, and this might be the most controversial video that I put up. However, with the 9/11 anniversary, there are some questions that have to be asked. Number one, are we more safe in America or less safe in America today after the 9/11 attacks? Second question that we have to ask, are we more economically prosperous in America today than we were before 9/11? That's another question. And the third thing, now this is the most controversial thing I'm going to ask, and I do find it difficult to ask this question. Is I'm not going to ask it, but I'm going to tell you is I mean, are the second thing, are we really are we really protecting protecting our country the way it's supposed to be protected? Well, there are several. I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna say the other thing when I get around to the other thing. First question that we have to ask: are we more safer in America today than we were before 9/11 and since then? To me, the question is absolutely not. That is because we do have an open border. We don't know who's in our country, who's coming and going. That's number one. Number two, economic. Let's address this question from an economic point of view. Are we better off economically than we were after 9/11? In that case, I think our economy has gotten worse because of it. Now, the third thing that I'm going to say, and this is the most controversial thing I'm going to say, in my not so humble opinion, not so humble opinion. This is my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, and my opinion only, and that is, I think, and I know that unfortunately the terrorists have won because and don't jump down my throat. Don't say you're crazy, you're an idiot, you're this, you're that. Now, okay, when we get into this post 9/11 discussion here, number one, we have lost because of this 9/11 attack. We have lost some of our, or they were curtailed our civil liberties because of the Patriot Act, because of certain things. Now, I know that the American people at this time, they don't ask these kind of questions, and that's okay because they have been taught to think with their emotions. Now, I'm going to tell you about emotions and all that. Yes, we should honor the victims of 9/11. And yes, those families have a right to grieve for their loved ones and all those things. But questions, are we better off economically? Are we more safer now than we were prior to 9/11? And the third question is the most controversial one because and I am asking this question, and I know this might not be politically correct. I'm asking, have those terrorists really won? Because listen, we lost our some of our civil liberties were curtailed. Some of our you know, freedoms. You are now when you go get on an airplane, you are subjected to basically searches when they can touch you. They when you get on the airplane, they touch you all over, all that stuff. So I mean, look, I'm just an ordinary guy who's asking questions, and I mean, there is some people who ask questions like, has 9/11 been an inside job? Well, this question has not been totally answered. I mean, I know that my discussion is the most controversial discussion that I'm doing on YouTube, but unfortunately, I mean, sometimes we have to sit down, turn off our emotions, and have a discussion because as Americans, as Americans, we have a as American people, yes, we should honor those victims of 9/11, and believe me, it is a tragedy what happened on 9. But there are some questions that have to be answered. I mean, really, because as a nation, we have to ask ourselves: has America and the whole kit and caboodle, the whole question has to be: has has America because has America after 9/11 lost its, I don't know, prestige? May I say? Have we, as the American people, become stronger? I mean, morally, economically, etc., etc. Um have we become stronger morally, economically, and militarily, or as a nation, have we become weak because of the enemies within of our nation? I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, America as a nation has external enemies, but we also have the enemy within, and that is the enemy within is more important. I mean, I'm just an ordinary guy who is trying to ask questions. And as an American, I have a right to ask questions. Are we more safer since 9/11? Are we more prosperous economically, know, etc., etc.? And then the other third thing we do have to ask as Americans, and this is the last thing I'm going to say: Are we are we are we going to survive as a nation? Because right now, as Americans, we are a fractured nation. I mean, because the people are more more desperate. I think we as a people are fractured as a nation. And those questions, I mean, can we improve ourselves as a nation? We can probably do that, but it will take really dramatic in order for our nation to survive. We will have to take desperate measures. What are they? Number one, close your borders. Close your borders. Number two, Now, what does close your borders mean? It means that if you want to come into this country, into America, please come here. Of course, we will welcome you, but you will have to do it legally. Number two, Number two, there is going to have to be incentive for people to start up their economy. Taxes will have to be cut. You have to cut taxes in order for people to open up businesses. Number two, inflation has to get under control. Now, I'm only asking the questions here. Is anything going to change? I'm not so sure. So in this case, I will see you in my next video.